Thank you all very, very much for coming this morning. My name is Brian Staunton, and I'm going to be your moderator today. I'm delighted to be here at ATM. I must say it's been a fantastic week. Hopefully you've all enjoyed it. Joined by our three excellent panelists today, industry colleagues, whom I'm going to introduce in a moment, briefly, and then we're going to ask each member of the panel to give us a quick 5-minute introduction about themselves, their company, and how data is being thought about in their company and by their customers. And then after that, we're going to have a kind of a questions and answer session where I'll ask the panelists some questions and try and listen and understand and gain some insights from them. If anybody in the audience would like to ask any questions, please just put your hand up and we have some roving microphones. We can come to you. If you do ask a question, please give us your name and your company. So, without further ado, I just want to introduce our panelists. First of all, ladies first. This is Mary Lee on my left here in the middle. Mary is the CEO and founder of a company called Atlas. So I'm a colleague of Mary working in Atlas also. And Mary's background, this is her 5th flight aggregation business where she's worked. 3 startups. This is her 3rd startup. And she'll say a little bit more about herself in a few minutes. So welcome, Mary. Thank you very much. The next gentleman I'd like to introduce is Ashish Kumar on my left here. Ashish is a long-standing travel industry veteran, having worked in KLM, Qatar for a number of years and joined WeGo, I think about 6-7 years ago, based here in the region. So thank you very much indeed, Ashish. Really looking forward to getting your insights as well. And then thirdly, Johnny on my left here, Johnny Zhao Young. He is Chief Architect and Solutions of Alibaba Cloud Middle East, so one of the big cloud computing companies that are enabling so much of this data analytics and infrastructure power. So really looking forward to hearing from everybody. So without further ado, I'm going to just ask Ashish, if you wouldn't mind, just give us a 5-minute introduction on yourself, please. Thank you very much.
Sure. So I'm Ashish Kumar. I'm Director of Flights Bookings for WeGo. Recently, WeGo has acquired Cleartrip in the Middle East region, and that includes flying. And this firmly establishes us as the largest travel online market player in the region. This acquisition has not only helped us increase our scale, but also have strengthened our ability to partner and collaborate across the region. So talk about, and recently, which was, I think, early last year, we have launched our own booking product. This was done with an aim to cater to our customers in a more personalized and a familiar environment. We are now talking about the travel marketplace as such. So customers come, WeGo provides you the unbiased search results or unbiased comparison results across the travel products, therefore allowing our customers to come and shop for the best prices and deals for their destinations that they are searching. And in exchange, WeGo gives them the possibility to choose from any of our hundreds of providers, whereby they can choose any of those providers and make a booking, finalize their booking. So that's one part of the story. During pandemic, what we also started, we launched our travel exploration tool on our website. Basically, what it allowed, whereby customers could come to our website and explore and discover the new destinations based on their origin and based on their vaccine status. What all of this has done, basically, it has helped us generate a lot of data, which we analyzed and to understand their behavioral patterns, and eventually helped customers provide a very personalized experience. Just say, for example, we knew after studying the data, we knew exactly, say, for example, for short or medium haul flights, customers mostly prefer the direct flights option only. Or say, for example, another example being for the domestic flights in Saudi Arabia, customers prefer only LCC, one-way direct flights. So These are the methods whereby we actually helped data, or with the help of data, we were able to personalize the experience. Now, this marketplace data, as I said earlier, we now have the capability of offering to our customers to book via Vigo. And the data collected, which basically operates within the marketplace ecosystem that we have. So with the data that was collected from the marketplace, we were able to effectively deploy, analyze that data, and offer very customized solutions to our Book on Vigo product. When I say that, basically we were able to offer them very dynamic offerings. Plain and simple example, we offered deep discounts to passengers for bookings with more than 2 passengers, because we knew that as a build-up to Eid, there will be a high demand in the family travel. So that was one smaller example. And during the booking flow, we were able to also upsell the ancillaries purely based on the customers' historical preferences or the destinations they were traveling to. We are now also moving towards creating dynamic packages. That is to say that not only combining the airside products, which are flights, seats, baggage, but also the fintech products like FlexiFly or cancellation for any reason. This overall, what I want to say is that the data actually enables us to, not only enables us to gain new customers through the marketing channels, but also it's very important for the companies to make use of data to actually cater the customers into the lower funnel, which is the short way of running the business profitably, and also gain some loyalty, which is very hard to come by. But if we use the data effectively, I'm sure we can touch, or we can be a bit more successful in gaining the loyalty of the customers.
Very good indeed. Thank you very much, Ashish. Fascinating stuff, and I think as the biggest player in the region, really looking forward to listening to more insights from Ashish and the rest of the panelists as we get into the questions and answer section. So thank you very much, Ashish. Johnny, I'm going to come to you next, if you don't mind, please. If you wouldn't mind, just give us a little bit of an introduction again on yourself, the company, and how data influences decisions in the company and also for your customers. Thank you very much, Johnny.
This is Johnny. I'm the Chief Solution Architect of Alibaba Cloud, Middle East and Africa. Can you change to next page?
Yes.
Yeah. As for the business, Alibaba Cloud is Asia Pacific #1 public cloud provider and the #3 globally public cloud provider. So we're providing big data, artificial intelligence infrastructure for our services. We're also providing new retail, fintech, internet vertical solution to our customers. So as for the data, how to influence our internal business, you can see here, actually, we are not, Alibaba today is not only an online e-commerce website. It's what you take when you put all the associated functionality related to the new retail and put it online to forming a surrounding data-driven networks of sellers, marketers, service providers, logistic companies, and manufacturers. So in this way, we can collaborate the overall ecosystem, the ecosystem of the organism of different business, different type of consumers to serve these services, our internal services and our customer and partners. So we can see, accepting to serve our internal business, as well, we think the data itself is a business. Because we have the data, we finally know how to operate, how to generate more value to our ecosystem, to our customer. You can see we're using Alibaba as a technical infrastructure, then we collecting all the data from different vertical business of our own and our partners. Then we create a value to the decision making. As well, we accumulate all the data, so we're providing data management and promotion platform is Alimama. We generate value from Alimama from the data. So we're also providing financial services to our customer and the navigation services to our end user to help entity to choose the location, physically location where the traffic most probably can track customers. And as for this travel industry, we are now serving, for example, the Costa, HG, Asia, Cathay Pacific, and as well, definitely the Atlas, Fliggy, our own OTA services, as well some Dudaya tours, some AI enablement startup companies. Yeah, we help them to providing the infrastructure services, help them to adopting, for example, DevOps methodologies based on our DevOps toolchain platform, help them to using the artificial intelligence, leverage their live data in real time to boosting their business. Yeah.
Very good. Thank you very much, Johnny. Yeah, I think it's just really interesting listening to Johnny and all of the cloud computing companies globally. What's happened as we've all been busy in travel, trying to deal with COVID, technology has moved on so quickly in the last few years. It now is affordable and accessible for people in travel to actually utilize the power of some of these platforms to really analyze the data to create a win-win-win for consumers, agencies, and suppliers. So thank you very much, Johnny. Next, I'd like to come to Mary, please. Mary, if you'd be so kind to say a few words. Thank you.
Sure, sure. So I'm Mary. I'm the founder and the CEO of Atlas. So I got up at 4:30 this morning, so nervous. Because like you see, I'm Chinese. English is not my native languages. So this is just like Brian shared. This is my third startup company. So people ask, what happened to you, Mary? Yeah, I'm very, very obsessed on startup companies. I feel I like to be challenged. I like to face challenging. This is me. So I'm very happy to be here. So what Atlas do? So Atlas is doing low-cost carriers aggregator. So Atlas is an aggregator of low-cost carrier contents. And people might ask, again, low-cost carriers, again, aggregator. Yes, again. So we are doing exactly what people have done in the past 2 decades, but we have something new today. I would like to share with you later. So what exactly Atlas do, difference with other companies in this travel industry. Thank you.
Do you want to talk about your slides as well?
So I would like to express more about like Atlas and the data. So I'm sitting here as a Chinese woman, quite a Chinese-aged woman. So I'm so lucky because I travel. Traveling makes me being here. Otherwise, I could not imagine I might still locked down in China. So I really, really believe traveling connect all the people together. So that is the intention of Atlas. We want to connect the people through the world. We want to people through traveling to see. We do have differences. We just have different languages, different color of skin, different kind of religions, but we're same. The essence behind of everything, we are human being. We are a person. So that exactly Atlas wanted to do. But since our vision and our value have been clearly defined, so we are thinking what we should do to deliver that. What kind of platform we need to build that. So to be honest, in the last 2 decades, the only thing I'm good at is flights. It's flights. I really believe to offer every person in the world affordable air tickets is more important than anything else. Every person in the world, they can purchase a cheaper air ticket. That's exactly my dream. Similar like me, they can buy a ticket without any thought. They can travel to meet everybody anywhere. So, but come back to the industry. What's the difference between Atlas? So this is my startup company, but in front of Weigo and in front of Alibaba Cloud, I can say, luckily, the 2 startups quite success. But what exactly we will do? I was thinking for longer time. I think the only value we have to figure out the real pinpoints of this industry, what kind of real value we can contribute to this industry. So I think data, really data analysis, and what kind of infrastructure can support the data, be scalable, is what exactly the pinpoint of this industry. So that is why, Atlas is an aggregator for low-cost carriers, but we are a data-led organization. So I would like to explain from simple words. What's the difference between number and the data? How number evolves into data? So number is number. When number was born, it has name, definition, time, whatever, something. But data, a number is not data. Number only can combine with other number points, can be analyzed, can be processed, has some meaning, and number can help you to know exactly who you are, what you can do, what you can predict in the future, and number involves in data. So that is called number becomes data. Look at today, 163. So 163 as a heartbeat is too high for a person. 163 centimeter as me, height is a normal lady. And a hotel has 163 rooms. An airline might have 163 fleets. So 163 might be a single way ticket from Singapore to Dubai. So that's a static number in a single format. It's not called data. So Atlas, what Atlas do? Atlas process all those numbers, give all those numbers life, give all those numbers something, make it become data. That is what we have done so far. So.
Okay, thank you very much. I know there's two more there. Did you want to talk on them?
Yes,
or are you okay?
I would like to talk about that. So data also delivers values. So look at this picture. So we do have not only our transaction data, we also have external third-party data. So we use a lot of algorithm to analyze this data to give you something. What does it mean? What does it mean? Your own transaction data and the external market data, it means like you know yourself today, and you also know your competitor, you know the market. So we give you clear map, clear picture, where are you? What's the difference between you and the market? What's the difference between you and your competitor? Then you can exactly do what you want to do. That's the second page.
Okay,
Sorry.
thank you very much.
So
And
the
then
last
one more.
page. So, yeah. So I would like to share example of our existing client. Even for flights, full service carriers and low-cost carriers, their data are different. So we help our clients separate their data infrastructure. We help them to understand full service carriers' flight data is completely different with low-cost carriers' data. So look at this photo, look at this picture. Without any action, we give them very high quality data analysis and incredibly increase their volume without any efforts from themselves. That is called today's Atlas doing.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Mary. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll come on to the questions and answer session now. And Ashish, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask the first one to you again. So we've heard about big data for many years in travel, but from a leadership point of view, like what do you think companies need to be focusing on now to fully embrace and capitalize on that for themselves and their customers moving forward? What would you say?
So in the travel industry, data has always been there. There is just a sea of data that's available out there.
Yeah.
Data, on the other hand, is very detrimental in defining the business. It helps us define, or you can say, conclude the business, and also it helps us understand the customers' trends and their behavior.
Yeah.
And that is the most important thing. What you do with the data is what is very important.
Yes, yes.
So you can, and then there are new technologies which are available out there in the market, like CDPs.
Yeah.
Now CDP basically allows you to analyze analyze your customer first-party data and present it in such an holistic way that
Yeah.
that you can use that data for further segmentation or for many uses. For example, it analyzes what sections of the website you visited, what filters you have used,
Wow.
what destinations you have been choosing, and so on and so forth. So it fragments the entire first-party data, which you can then feed it back to your marketing channels and basically create a very customized target audience and gain new customers and basically create a value proposition to your existing customers only. I mean, give them a very personalized service, because you have now able to fragment the entire data very, very accurately based on the historical data that has been parked with the travel companies for years and years. And so yeah, that's one part of the story. You can feed the same data back to the DMP and other technologies, and then eventually acquire new customers. So data is extremely important. For me, the importance or what companies can do is basically they have not been doing all of this until now. But then companies needs to basically adopt or embrace the new technologies which are out there. I mean, implementing CDP is not easy, and therefore companies simply say, like, no, we can't. I mean, it's going to take ages doing that. But then no, that's the thing. I mean, companies need to embrace the new technology and move away from the legacy systems or legacy practices that they have been using if they are to be successful in this post-pandemic
Very good.
time.
Thank you very much, Ashish. Johnny, do you mind if I ask you the same question from from a leadership point of view in travel companies? What should they be doing now to capitalize on all of the data in their hands?
Yeah, I think big data already being a quite buzzword for a very long time. How to better utilize this technology to create value in your business. I think every company, they have data, but how can they take advantage of this data? For example, some companies, they have challenging to get the data. So how they can get the data they needed? For example, they need to try every opportunity to datify the exchange with their customers. This is the first step. The second step is try to automate all the business process and actors online. So coordinate with each other to take advantage of the data previous you have. As well, in the meantime, when you automate all the process, business flows and the actors online, you can naturally get more scenario, more engagement with your customer, get the data again. So with all this data, with the automation of the system, then the third step, you need to apply the algorithm. So that means using artificial intelligence, deep learning technology, which can take advantage of your live data in real time to generate the value to your business. So this is within your own company. You need to also define the standards and the API across different BU to let the data flow.
Okay.
If the data is staying in one place, it cannot make the advantage of the. They need to flow within the business process within your company, as even expanding to the ecosystem with your partners, with your customers, to create more value for yourself and for your partner, for your customers.
Very good.
So this is very important methodology for you.
Very
and
good.
For the leadership, I think the digital leadership is different compared with traditional company. For example, the GE, the Toyota, they deliver product and services based on the optimized deliver supply chain.
Yep.
You need to mobilize a network to realize your company's goal. For example, the leader, digital leader, you need to inspire your employees, inspire your partners, inspire your customer who make up this network. You have to be, the visionary and the evangelist. So you have to uh, to be this one to make it happen, to collaborate with each other.
Yeah.
It's more than the management. You need to create the environment for example, for your staff to innovate, to string together experimental product and services very quickly, and then test the market, then to see the response, and to scale the idea that elicit a positive response from your customer, from the market.
Okay.
You create this environment. Maybe you don't know what's the concrete step to achieve your target, but you need to make it clear what's your firm target, and you need to create this environment to make it happen.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Thank you very much, Johnny. Mary, would you like to comment on that one in terms of, what should companies be
Leadership?
doing now?
Yeah.
From a leadership point of view, to capitalize on this.
Yeah, as a CEO, so what data does mean? So I guess data is a fact. Data makes everybody don't be emotional, be chill. Look at the facts, then talk. That's data works in a company. So Atlas heavily invested in data intelligence platform. So we have data intelligence platform not only support our customers, but also support our internal teams. Our internal teams, marketing team, business development team, and finance team, legal team, all the teams, they are working on the technology tools every day. So they challenge each other, they question. So what I learned from different kind of perspective, working based on data, that's exactly Atlas culture. So that culture is so important in a company because everybody can speak, everybody can question, everybody can challenge other people based on facts.
Very good. Thank you very much, Mary. So Ashish, if we think, say, 5 years ago, and then today, and 5 years into the future, what do you think is different? Like, what's different now compared to 5 years ago, and where do you think it's going to go in terms of utilizing all this data to drive decisions in the future?
Yeah, so 5 years ago, I mean, I can say travel industry was very, I can say very primitive, not
Yeah.
primitive per se, but then it was very much focused on, let's say, issuing the tickets alone, and then subsequently customers would buy insurance separately, and that's
Yes.
the other ancillaries separately. So it was
Yeah.
very fragmented for a customer. I mean, and that was working at that point of time.
Yeah.
There was no problem because
Yeah.
there was no pandemic in between then. So, but this has changed a lot. So let's say, for example, another example being pre-pandemic, there used to be a one booking form
Yeah.
for all customers, on standard booking form for all the customers.
Yeah.
But now, after pandemic, we have now, by analyzing the data, we now can customize the fields in the booking form. We can remove or add additional
Based on the individual.
based on the individual. Let's say
Wow.
the destination they are traveling to,
Yeah.
what is their vaccination status, or
Wow.
what national they are, what nationality they are. So I mean, so all of this data has helped us in customizing this. Now, another thing that I can say is where we are moving now, that pandemic is getting over. So
Yeah.
from buying the tickets and insurance and ancillary separately, to now we are able to basically bundle some of it,
Yep.
if not all. So what we can do currently, we can combine the ticket, the insurance, and maybe a bit of a flight flexibility using using the airline data API. So we can bundle some of it, and then rest of it we can offer it in the checkout flow by means of ancillaries. How it will evolve in 5 years' time?
Yeah.
I think in 5 years' time, we will be able to offer customers a full package, basically a full fare bundle, dynamic bundle.
Wow.
We would know from the data by then that a customer visits, comes to the website, searches for Dubai to London. We know he comes every time he visits London. He stays in this hotel. He always what kind of seats on the cabin, that which cabin he prefers, what
Wow.
seats, whether aisle or window. So
Yeah.
we know all of his preferences from the previous historical data that customer has eventually kept on coming on a website and then gave us. We can combine it and give him the dynamic package, which is just one click away. You click and that's it. Book, check out,
Wow.
and your trip is done. So that's where I think we are moving, yeah, that's the future that I see personally
That's
in the
fantastic,
travel
yeah.
industry.
Yeah, Ashish was telling me earlier about Dubai, how it's so amazing and keeps challenging and breaking new norms. But he was saying to me, I don't exactly know where it was, but it sounds like he was saying you order your coffee and it was delivered in a Tesla driverless to pick up your coffee. So I'm thinking the future of WeGo booking online, they know what you want, they give it to you and they send you a coffee in a Tesla. Amazing. Anyway, sorry, Johnny, do you mind if I ask you the same question in terms of 5 years ago today and 5 years in the future?
Yeah, I think 5 years ago there's been a lot of startup or big players. They are doing a lot of successful trial. For example, they trial for the artificial intelligence. They trial for the big data in different vertical. For example, Alibaba. 5 years back, we already starting the personalized recommendation engines, the image recognitions, and natural language processing, which can be leveraged by different verticals, by our retail, wholesale, and consumer services. I think after 5 years, all kinds of different trials are already being done. It's proved to work. It proved works. And this also the cloud computing platform, artificial intelligence infrastructure, the cost lower down dramatically. So it's the right time for the company. They can find easily all the technical enablers. That's why first they can make a right choice of the technical platform. Then after that is revert back to the leadership. You have all the capability, technical capability ready, then it goes to your leadership to create one environment to recruit the experienced talents in this industry, and then create an environment for them to quickly innovate based on all the technology
Very
capabilities to keep on make a innovation chip. I think it's the right time for you to start business, but it's also challenging for you because a lot of practice companies, they already done the same thing. How to make it differentiated from other is very challenging, and it's the opportunity as well for the
Thank you very much.
new startup.
So yeah, so it's a lot more affordable now in terms of accessibility for people in travel. Others have done it before, so perhaps partner with people who've done it before and have got good experience in that space. Thank you very much, Johnny. Mary, would you like to comment on the same?
Yeah, I would like to say something. I think like in the past 5 years, what's the difference between now and 5 years ago? Data has not changed. It's still searching data, results, flights, revalidation rate, conversion rate. Nothing changed. So what changed? Infrastructure changed. So 5 years ago, we used CPU, but today we use GPU, right? So 5 years ago, database and today's database are completely different. So do you play games? So if you play games, you exactly know, I'm a huge fan of NVIDIA. So you know exactly what changed. The calculation capability, the accessibility, the stability has completely changed. The infrastructure changed. So it gives us huge opportunity today. We can calculate much, much quicker than 5 years ago. We can predict what will happen tomorrow and in the next 5 years. That has been changed. But a question comes, oh, Mary, so NVIDIA, it's a huge American public company. Does it become expensive, more expensive? That's true. So because infrastructure has already upgraded, all those things has been more costly, more expensive than before. But me and Atlas team, we are really, really excited to do some decentralized company. We will open Atlas data intelligence platform to this ecosystem. Make all the company in this travel industry, they can pay, similar like I said at first, affordable data products to access into all the data intelligence platform. That is what me and Atlas team will do in the future. Thank you.
Very good. I'm just going to pause there in case anyone in the audience would like to ask any questions. I'm just looking around the room here.
Hi, myself Bharat. I am a chief architect at Ben Labs.
Yes.
So we actually work to solve a lot of critical problems of travel industry.
Oh, thank you.
So what I am foreseeing is these Web3 and distributed technologies are doing a lot of boom in other industry like medical, finance and all. But as a travel space, how we should be ready to adapt those technologies. So
Very
what
good.
should be our strategies?
Okay, thank you very much. Good question. So how can we get ready as an industry, and what strategies should we have to embrace new Web3 technology? Anybody like to take that?
Yeah, I would like to take it because Bharat was my colleague before. He worked
Oh.
in my team when I was in India. So I think whatever we talk about Web3, we talk about crypto. What exactly behind of those stories? It means like, how can you openly sharing? How can you decentralize? How can you destroy those unicorns in the industry, right? That is the story behind of that. I think in travel industry, we always talk about partnership.
Yes.
We talk about openly sharing. Is there any company would like to share, would like to openly sharing those things with this ecosystem? That is called Web3 in travel industry. That is what I thought.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Anybody else want to comment on that? Just Johnny, would you like to comment, or are we okay?
Yeah, I think Web3 is a new directions for even for our industry. We are looking for build up the business based on the new technologies. When new technology emerges, we are looking for what other players, what's the best practice they are doing now. I think it's still in a very early stages. Everyone is trying, for example, the universe in OpenSea is a lot of different. Who can be the final successor? We doesn't know. So, but at least we need to keep an eye on the technology evolving, keep on looking at the opportunity and trial it. Then we can keep the pace with the existing technologies, and they have the judgment from our own.
Very good.
But technology is technology, keep on changing. But what not changing is a business, and how to make a customer feel your value to give his travel. This is a fundamental question. Can you deliver new value to your customer? Otherwise, that's no use.
Yeah.
Whatever technology you are adopting, yes.
Very good, very good. Ashish, you want to comment, or we go to the next question?
Fully agree with, with what he said. I mean, we need to wait how the technology evolves, and
Yeah.
so I have really nothing else to add.
Thank
to
you
what-
very
what
much.
you
No, I
already
think
said.
it's a great question. Thank you very much. And just to say, just before I come to that gentleman, very, very strong point from Johnny. Despite the technology, obviously it's all just to enable us to serve customers better. I totally think it's a very strong point. Now, thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Dr. Mustafa. We are based in Dubai since 1958. So we have seen the evolution of Dubai, right from a
Wow.
small village to the mega metro. My question to you is that, what were the impossibles of the past are imperatives of today? Like, 10, 15 years back, we had a jacket ticket and confirm and reconfirm and sticker and all those things to currently, self-check-in and all this. So what are the impossibles of today which are going to be the imperatives of the future?
Good question. Good question.
Yeah, I'll take that. So as I said, so the imperative that's going to happen is the way how travel companies would be able to dynamically package, making use of the data that they have from years of doing business. Basically, how they are making use of it, and as I said in my previous question, the 5 years down the line, companies who are not able to dynamically package the entire trip are not going to be very successful, right? So I mean, it's very important. I mean, with the commencement of new technology within the airlines, let's say even airlines are upgrading themselves by means of NDCs, which basically allows you to keep adding a lot of ancillaries in one single booking flow rather than booking separately. So the more we move towards dynamically packaging the entire experience to the customer, and the pandemic has changed the way customers travel, what they used to do, their booking patterns, their travel patterns, everything has changed. So we need to be very, and we need to evolve ourselves very quickly to be able to cater to all of those things at a single click, and that is imperative. I mean, I think few years down the line, this is what most of the successful companies in travel space will end up doing.
Very good, thank you. Anybody else? We okay? Oh, Mary, yes.
Yeah, so I think like I'm quite disappointed about today's reality about traveling, shopping experience. 10 years ago, it was same, searching. But travel is experience. But we search unlimited, limited, like city pairs, departure date, and arrival date, nothing more. So I really, really believe today, and in the coming 2 or 3 years, travel industry, especially retail product process, will change. I strongly believe that, because in the past 1 decade, it hasn't changed. It completely limited our imagination. It completely contributed to those big companies. It doesn't contribute to the ecosystem at all. It makes so fun traveling becomes standard products. So that's really good question.
Okay, thank you very much. I suppose it sounds amazing with all this extra computing power and tools, what we can all achieve together. There's obviously challenges with that, and especially perhaps people in the audience listening, what can I do in my company to capitalize on this? So any advice on partnering with others, or other suggestions you might have to any other agencies or airlines in the room who may want to embrace this? Any advice? It's the final question, by the way, because we're... Ashish.
So data harnessing, you mean
Yeah,
how?
yeah.
Yes. So I think once again, I mean, data is there. You can put it across the, let's say, into an AI module, and then that can basically make the entire travel experience very easier for the customers. But then that's in theory.
Yeah.
With pandemic setting in, I mean, the entire travel preferences have changed. Many things have changed now in terms of airlines imposing the restrictions, or there are destination-specific restrictions that happened, or based on your nationality, based on your vaccination, as I said earlier. So feeding all of this data, it's not a standard data anymore.
Right.
That now these are very dynamic, evolving requirements every time. So keeping that data updated at all times in the system is extremely challenging.
Yeah.
So yeah, if companies can manage to do that,
Yeah.
which is a very manual, sometimes manual, but then most of the times, I mean, there are tools available which can automate it. But yeah, so gathering the data and then basically keeping the customers updated, keeping your booking tools updated, and talk, basic booking tools talk with the data that you have collected. That's quite important. And yeah, that's the way.
Thank you, Ashish. Mary, would you like to say anything? You're okay? Johnny? Okay, listen, thank you very much, everybody, for coming along today. Really enjoyed that. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Johnny. Enjoy the rest of ATM. Thank you.